Hello everyone, how are we doing tonight? Tonight I have my little cousin here who weightlifts, so she has a little bit of tension in her wrists and her elbows, but we're going to be doing an entire hand and arm massage on both arms and hands tonight. Before we begin the actual massage, we're just gonna do some cool compressions with this cold towel that we have just to prepare. And then we'll do a little bit of soft brushing and just kind of preparing the arms and the skin for massage. If you guys didn't know, I actually went to massage school, so I did have a license at one point, and I've been really wanting to make massage content, but haven't got to it. Is everything comfortable? Okay, good. Okay. Alright, and then we can kind of just air it, which can also kind of create a tingly, chilly effect. Sometimes it's nice to be warm during a massage, but sometimes it's nice to also have cooling properties to a massage. It just depends on the person and the environment. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take our soft brush here and just kind of brush it and hopefully give some goosebumps, and again, just prepare for relaxation. Sometimes it's nice to let a client know that we're about to go into massage, prepare the skin before diving right in. So we can go down each finger, into the wrist, down the arm, and there is 3 different muscles here in the arm that we like to focus on in massage, and we'll get to that once we get to the actual massage. When I was younger, my sisters and I would do this thing before bed where we would kind of like run our fingers down and say like, each finger goes to sleep, and your hand goes to sleep, and your wrist goes to sleep. That's what this reminds me of. Is everything comfortable? Or does it tickle at all? It feels good. Okay, good. I honestly think there is a new market for services like this that aren't just strictly massage like they do the HandSpa now, and I've seen people market back scratching and things like that where it's not just typical massage now, and I've always thought incorporating ASMR and gentle talking and whispering into massage was a good idea. And I even did like a small project on it in school. Okay, if you want, you can turn your arms this way. That's perfect. Are your hands cold? A little cold, okay. So what we can do is actually use the device we have, because it has a hand warming effect. So before we get into the arm massage with my hands, we can do that. And you just let me know if anything tickles or is uncomfortable, or if any pressure is too light or too hard, and we can adjust, because don't worry about hurting my feelings. It's about you. So that's one thing that I always felt a little bit, I always felt a little sad about, is people being too scared to say like, ow, that hurts, or I'm cold. Because massage is all about the client and the person receiving care and personal attention. So if you get massages, never be scared to say, my feet are cold, or that's too much pressure. I promise the therapist appreciates the feedback. I wish we had a fan brush, something even gentler, but this will do. Okay, so we're going to move on to just introducing my hands to you. And we're going to kind of just almost like back scratching, but no nails, because having long nails for massage is just not something that mixes well. Because when you're trying to work into a certain area, you'll dig your nail into someone, and that just does not feel good. So one of the first things we got in massage school were really sharp nail files, and you had to file your nails every single day, so that there was never the chance of nails digging into anyone, because it's just not ideal at all. So I'm not really doing scratches, I'm just kind of running the pads of my fingers down her arm, which I think feels nice too, right? Yeah. Of course, nails are like so tingly, but it's okay. I think in massage also maybe prepping an area with very light massage and compressions before going into massage is really good, even for deep tissue, because I think even a lot of therapists have the impression that deep tissue you should be really aggressive, but client is tense in any way, it makes it really difficult to have any progress in releasing tension. So if you're able to slowly work up to deep tissue and deeper massage work by creating a really relaxing environment, you can do deeper work that is more successful, more comfortable for whoever you're working on. I'm going to have you turn your arms back around again. Since your hands are cold and you're having some pain in your wrists, I'm going to go ahead and pull out a really helpful device for both of those things, if you're open to it, and I think you'll really enjoy it. So Sophie's hands are a bit cold and tense from weightlifting, as we mentioned. I'm going to bring out the Bob and Brad HandSpa Pro Hand Massager and have her try it out. There's different modes here, so there's a light mode, which is the green color, and a blue, which is medium intensity, and then the red is the most intense setting, and also the heat setting, which we will be taking advantage of tonight. If you don't know, Bob and Brad are two famous physical therapists here on YouTube with over 60 years of combined clinical experience, so they put a lot of work and thought into their products to help people recover and relax. I'm personally a big fan of tools like this as someone who was previously licensed. I find them really helpful. It can get difficult and expensive to get massages all the time, so tools like this really help me with pain and honestly falling asleep too. You can also use this device with lotion if you'd like. There are gloves provided. There's 8 zone finger division for full hand relief to target each finger, and it's also cordless, very quiet, with a Type-C charging board, making it super portable and easy to use anywhere. I work online a lot and I struggle with hand cramps, so it's very convenient to use in those moments. Another cousin of mine is actually an author. She gets pretty bad pain in her hands from typing, so I'll probably get her one for Christmas this year, or just because she deserves it. Thank you, Bob and Brad, so much for sponsoring this video. If you guys would like to try one for yourself, you can use the discount code on the screen or go to the link in the description for 10% off. Okay, now we're gonna get to the massage portion of the video. So we have some just vanilla cocoa butter. This is actually a newer product. It's like cocoa butter, but it's vanilla scented. It's really lovely. Pretty cheap too. I love it. Here, smell, see if you like it. It's good, right? a little more and put it down so it's not in our way here. And we'll grab it when we need it. I feel a lot of times in massage, sometimes, if not particularly mentioned, the limbs get a little bit ignored. You know, of course, you go over them, especially in a Swedish massage, and you just kind of glaze over, do the bare minimum, but, you know, we use our feet and our arms and our hands so much. They do need that attention. But again, I'm gonna just start by covering all the areas before honing in on certain spots. Okay, and I know you said you had a little bit of wrist pain and then in your elbows. So we can kind of focus on that. And also keep it in mind so that you're not adding too much pressure to spots that could potentially have some pain or injury. Now, of course, if there's any injury, you don't want to be massaging at all until maybe about 6 weeks after the injury. But she doesn't have an injury, she more just has tension. So it's perfect. Is the pressure okay? No. I went to school when I was 19, and I'm almost 24 now, so forgive me if I don't remember everything, but I can definitely give the basics. And kind of comb through the area where she has tension. See if you feel any kind of knots or anything that needs to be released. Is this bolster okay? Is it comfortable? Okay. Okay, good. And let me know if anything feels like it needs particular attention, if you're like, stay in that spot longer, whatever you feel you want to add, feel welcome to. Usually this right here is pretty tense. Is it? Yeah. Ooh, that was my wrist. I'm gonna need a massage after this. It must mean I'm working hard. I'm gonna do a little bit of a stretch here. Is that okay? Sometimes you can just kind of shake the arm a little. It kind of like gives your body the impression that it's okay to relax, and literally like shaking tension away makes you like more prone to relax into the massage. Okay, now we're gonna go up the arm here. Like I said earlier, there's these muscles in the arm in these 3 spots that are usually pretty tense, or can be. And if you come up on the elbow here, there's all little bony landmarks here that you can sift through and find tension in. Just need a little more cream. No, usually in a setting where you're on a massage table, I can kind of lean my body weight into your arm more, but from this positioning, it's a little more difficult, so it's definitely more Swedish level massage pressure rather than any kind of deeper work, but that's okay. You can use it for relief, but also relaxation. Does it feel okay?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to get to your elbow, but it's a little more difficult to reach. Does that feel comfortable still?
Yeah.
Okay. It's better. I don't know if you've ever had a chair massage too, but the way you lay in the chair, you have really nice access to do hand and arm massage. This positioning is a little more difficult to get in there, but that's okay. Again. this part when you go down the muscle. Your fingers like move with the tendons. It's pretty weird. You see? Isn't that weird? Because these tendons all on your arm connect up into your fingers. So it makes your fingers twitch. It's a weird feeling. A little bit. And did you ever do that game when you were younger and you would shut your eyes and say like, when am I at the center of your arm? Ready, shut your eyes for a minute. I think so, yeah. Shut them. Shut your eyes. Tell me when I'm at the center of your arm, like where the pit of the arm is. Open. Isn't that weird? Isn't that weird? Alright, are you feeling any relief in your wrist? Okay, good. Alright, one sec. I'm gonna go ahead and just wipe the oil off of this arm and do some compressions, and then we'll move on to your next one. That's also another thing that I think a lot of therapists forget to do is sometimes people don't want to be leaving a massage covered in oil. So it's nice to leave them comfortable and remove it. Okay, now we'll move on to your next arm. Alright, we're going to move on to the other arm. If you ever have a client or you're a therapist yourself or you're a client yourself, it's always good to even the body out. So, sometimes maybe you're doing deep work and you're really focusing on one area. For the most part, it's good to try to do the same thing you're doing on one side to the other. Otherwise, it can feel a little uneven. But of course, with injury, it already feels uneven. But in regards to Swedish and relaxing massage, that's purpose is pretty much purely relaxation. Try to even it out. And the Swedish massage is, something you'll get in a spa and you're kind of just wanting to lay back and relax, and maybe there's one or two focus areas you speak about with your therapist. But for the most part, you're just relaxing. Massage in general is really good for mental health. I think we sometimes dismiss things like this. We see them as small or insignificant, or as something that's like pampering and should only be done occasionally, when in reality, taking 30 minutes to an hour or even 10 minutes on a chair massage once a week or once a month, whenever you can afford, is really good for your mental health. To just lay and have someone give you that personal attention that we don't maybe get as much as we'd like in modern everyday life. It's also really good just for your health in general. I had a teacher who had a friend who was a massage therapist. One of my teachers at massage school, for reference. And her mom was going to have back surgery. And she begged her to just get some consistent massage first before committing to that. And it turns out she just had some twisted up fascia, which fascia is kind of like a spider web under your skin covering your whole body. And if you have an injury or a certain spot is still for a long amount of time, it can get scrunched up and cause a lot of issues. And through massage, the fascia got untangled in a sense, and she didn't need the surgery anymore, because surgery can be very helpful, but it can also be like devastating, can make things worse. It's last resort, so I always tell people that story if we get into any talk about massage or self-care. If you're ever having issues, of course, talk to a doctor about it, but try massage and physical therapy, chiropractor, combination of those things first. It works wonders for injury and, sports. People who are experiencing a lot of tension because of certain lifestyles. It can make it so that you can consistently do the things you love. As of right now, I just love it for relaxing and mental health, because my biggest struggle is anxiety and thinking too much. So things like this really helps. And it's a shame to think, some people think they can't afford that or it's too expensive, when it could change your life. I wish more insurance companies covered it. The pressure's still good. That feeling there, that happens a lot in the feet too, which obviously they're similar in ways. And there's some sparkles on you from the bow that was in the lotion. Okay, we're just about finishing up. I hope that that was nice and relaxing for you and for viewers to watch. And thank you guys again so much for watching.